Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Walls and Ceilings, and thank you so much for joining me for a very special episode of If Walls Could Talk. And I am so honored and thrilled to be joined by Lucas Mayer, who is the Product Category Manager for Grabber. Lucas, great to see you, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So there's a lot going on at Grabber that we need to talk about, which is really fun. Especially with Mach1, which you just launched at Build 23 this year. But let's start from the beginning, though, Lucas. What is SuperDrive?
So SuperDrive is our tool system that runs our collated fasteners. It was kind of born out of necessity. It was a speed and efficiency type thing in the drywall industry. We brought it to market in 1995, and it's been a pretty successful line. It showcases most of our fasteners, the best of the best fasteners. And yeah, no, it's been a very successful line for us, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so tell me more about the Mach1 SuperDrive attachment.
So the Mach1 was also built out of necessity. It was something that was, asked for a long time. It's a collated option for impact drivers, and so going away from the hanging drywall and more into the framing and prefab sector. It's made specifically for framing.
Oh, that's great. And so tell me, so where did that idea come from, and how did it become an idea in the first place? Was it contractors that this came from, or was it kind of internal? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so it's something that's been asked for a long time. We try to drive contractor demand, and we spend a lot of time with contractors, with the end users, a lot of time on the job site. And we were really trying to figure out a way to make, every part of the job faster. And so, for a long time, they were like, well, this collated system's nice, but we use impacts for everything. Mm-hmm. And so it's been in development for a long time. And it was kind of an easy way for us to not only use the tools that the contractor's already using and they're already comfortable with, but it was also a way for us to make this collated system a little bit shorter and a little bit more manageable. So the end result was something that could be easily slipped on and off of an impact driver. And that's that's where it came from. And it was made mainly from the voice of the end user.
That's great, because it's always, gosh, when those contractors find something that they love, it's always great when they can save some time, especially since labor is always a big issue right now, for sure.
Yes, 100%.
But walk me through, though, what are the benefits of having that collated attachment for impact?
So,
is it a time saver, like what most contractors?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, a lot of these contractors have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to make someone who's really fast even faster. And so the only option is to basically give them that extra hand back. And so now they don't have to reach in their belts, grab more screws. Everything's right there on the tool, ready to go. Me coming from the Midwest, I understand the frustrations of the wintertime. In the wintertime, you got to put gloves on. And so that slows you down a ton. So this is going to be beneficial for those guys that are using, that in the wintertime, they have gloves on and they're hanging off the outside of a building, putting flat strapping on. It's it's a big time saver.
Yeah, dangerous too.
Yeah.
So have these been made for other tool brands as well?
Well, so we started with the two largest manufacturers kind of in the United States and worldwide. So Makita, having a really big footprint outside of the US, and then also DeWalt having a huge footprint in the United States. They've both done a really good job of building their platforms with their battery systems. And these are just the first two that we started with, hoping to add on to that as we go. This is just the first stage.
Well, that is awesome. So what do you see as the future of Mach1 and SuperDrive as a whole?
So this has already changed. We started a year ago, or launched a year ago almost, and we've already been able to get it into the market and hear the voices from the contractors. And man, I wish it did this, or I wish it fit on this. And so we've constantly just been taking notes. And I think the future is going to be, saving time. In the future, this system will be even more versatile. It'll be even smaller, hopefully. And it'll also, bring the new guys up to speed a lot faster. So that's been something we've been spending a lot of time on, is, getting these into the hands of the guys coming right out of, trade school, and get them used to the system. And it's just early adoption. It takes on, or it takes to younger, apprentices faster than it does someone who's been doing it for 30 years. And we're trying to cater to that and make that transition to the next generation as seamless as possible. And so the sky's the limit. The United States has been kind of slow to adopt collated as a whole, but we hope to collate every fastener in the future and for every application.
So Lucas, that sounds really exciting. If anybody has any questions, where do they go? How do they find out more?
Okay, so we have a huge dealer base. We sell wholesale to all of your major drywall yards and lumber yards. But also, if you want to find one of the closest locations, you can go right to our website. It's grabberpro.com. And there's a tab at the top. It's called Find Your Grabber Pro. And you can type in your address, or you can ask a question, and it'll point you in the right direction.
That sounds great. And so I have one more question I want to ask you. So when you first launched this, what were contractors most excited about? What was the feedback? What were they saying that they loved the most about Mach1?
I would say it was a mixture. It was, wow, that's really cool. That they were really excited that it fit on the tool that they're most comfortable with. Every one of these guys has every one of these contractors has an impact hanging off their belt. And it was, really surprising. The other thing that really took off was just what our fasteners could do. So we had, chunks of 12 gauge and 16 gauge steel, and we were running some of the heavier gauge screws through double 12 gauge and with ease. And so it was really nice to kind of get those fasteners in front of them and get them excited about that. So, and then on top of that, they were also collated. So it was a double benefit.
Well, that's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Lucas. We're so excited to tell everybody about Mach1 and SuperDrive and all the new innovations that you have going on. And it sounds like there's going to be more fun things coming up down the road. And so all that said, if anybody has any questions for us, it's wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially our e-news, our website, all our social media, so you can stay up to date on all the great interviews we're doing, like we are today with Lucas. So you can hear all about Mach1 and SuperDrive. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy. And we can't wait to talk to you soon. Lucas, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.